So, regarding my previous reel, number 1717, about the fact that God sometimes does remove people from our lives, and that despite our nostalgia, it really is for the best. One particular example I remember was a lovely, lovely friend I had in college who was quite devout. And she was a lovely friend. Even after I re entered the country, we were great friends. We would visit each other in our respective cities, San Francisco, where she lived, and California, Southern California, where I lived. And so we had known each other for years and years before college. And she and her husband were quite devout. He became a pastor. And after exchanging many visits, I remember once that my husband was applying for a job and he needed a recommendation. So I called my friend, my dear, dear old friend, and asked her if she would write a letter of recommendation for him. And she started asking questions. And I thought, well, she just wants more information about my husband. And these questions went on for a while. And I didn't understand what was going on because we'd known each other like all our lives. And then she asked me about my son and how he was doing. And I said what school he was going to. And I said, oh, he's going to this particular private school. She said, oh, really? Why are you sending him there? And I said, well, they seem like nice people. It was a religious school, but it wasn't my religion. It wasn't the religion that I practiced, but I thought it would be a good environment. Well, suddenly the questions were over. She said, oh, okay, then everything was fine by her. In other words, because my son was attending a school that was the same religion that she had, a fundamentalist Christian religion, she decided it was okay to write a recommendation. Now, this seemed a little odd to me because the first thing that should be involved is loyalty and friendship. Why would she be so hesitant when we had been so close so recently also? And I realized that she had become more and more extreme, more and more fanatic, to the point where she wrote me a letter saying she was getting off Facebook because it wasn't